My child, pause. Do not scroll. Do not turn away. Do not let this moment slip past you like the others did, because this is not just another message. This is not just another video. This is not coincidence. This is divine timing. I have been trying to reach you again and again in ways you did not recognize, through moments of silence, through restless nights, through that feeling in your chest that something was not right, that something was shifting, that something was calling you higher, but you were distracted. Not because you are weak, but because the noise around you grew louder than my voice within you, and still, I did not stop calling you. My chosen one, hear me clearly now. Do not wait any longer. The delay is over. What you feel in this moment, that stillness, that pull, that sense that this message is speaking directly to you, that is not your imagination. That is me. I am speaking to you now because you are standing at a turning point in your life. You have been confused. You have been tired. You have been questioning yourself, wondering why things have not worked out the way you expected, wondering why doors closed, why people walked away, why plans failed. And you thought something was wrong with you. But my child, nothing was wrong with you. I was protecting you. I was redirecting you. I was removing what could not go where you were about to step. There were things you wanted that I saw would break you. There were people you held on to that I knew would drain you. There were paths you tried to walk that would have led you further away from your purpose. So I intervened, quietly, patiently, sometimes painfully, and yes, it felt like loss to you. But it was alignment to me. Listen carefully now. Do not go back to what I removed you from. Do not return to what hurt you. Do not reconnect with what confused you. Do not rebuild what I already tore down for your protection. You have been tempted, haven't you? Tempted to go back because it feels familiar. Tempted to reach out because loneliness whispers louder than wisdom. Tempted to settle because waiting feels heavy. But, my child, I did not bring you this far for you to return to the very place I rescued you from. You are not the same person anymore. Even if you don't fully see it yet, you have grown. Your spirit has been stretched. Your awareness has deepened. Your discernment is awakening. That discomfort you felt, that pressure you couldn't explain, that restlessness that kept you up at night, that was not punishment. That was transformation. I was reshaping you in ways you could not see. I was strengthening parts of you that were weak. I was breaking patterns that were keeping you stuck. I was preparing you for something greater, something you are now closer to than ever before. And this moment right here, this message, this connection you feel, this is confirmation. You are not lost. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are exactly where you need to be right now. But you must make a choice. You cannot move forward while holding on to what I asked you to release. You cannot receive what I have for you while clinging to what no longer serves you. You cannot step into clarity while entertaining confusion. So today, I am asking you to trust me. Not partially, not when it's convenient, but fully. Even when it feels uncomfortable, even when you don't have all the answers, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. Because I see what you cannot see. I know what you do not know. And I am leading you towards something that will make sense one day, even if it doesn't make sense right now. My chosen one, this is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, let go of what is behind you. Stop replaying old stories. Stop reopening closed doors. Stop questioning your worth. You are not who you used to be. And where you are going requires a new version of you. A stronger you, a clearer you, a wiser you. And that version of you is already being formed. So stand up in your spirit, lift your head, and move forward even if it's one small step at a time, because I am with you. I have always been with you, and I will not leave you now. If this message is speaking to your heart, don't ignore it. Type, "I am ready," in the comments as a declaration of your next step. Let this be the moment you stop delaying your own growth. Let this be the moment you choose alignment over comfort. And if these words brought you peace, clarity, or strength, take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs this message today. And if you feel moved in your spirit, and you want to support this ministry so more people can receive messages like this, you'll find a link below. Stay with me, my child. This is only the beginning. My child, stay with me. Do not rush past this moment. Do not let your mind wander, because what you are feeling right now, that quiet stirring inside you, that awareness you cannot explain, that is not ordinary. That is me reaching you again. You have felt it before, haven't you? That sudden pause in your thoughts. That moment when everything around you continues, but something within you becomes still. That inner voice that tells you something needs to change. And yet, you hesitated. You questioned it. You doubted whether it was real or just your imagination. But my child, I am not confusion. I am clarity. I am not fear. I am direction. And what you have been feeling is not random. It is your spirit waking up. For too long, you have been living in between, not fully stepping forward, but no longer belonging to your past, not fully at peace, but no longer comfortable in chaos. You have been standing in a space of transition, and it has been uncomfortable, because growth does not feel like comfort. Growth feels like pressure. Growth feels like uncertainty. Growth feels like letting go of what once felt safe, even when it no longer serves you. And you have been resisting that letting go, not because you don't want better, but because you fear the unknown. You ask yourself, what if I let go and nothing better comes? What if I walk away and I end up alone? What if I trust and it doesn't work out? But my child, listen carefully. What if you stay and miss everything I have prepared for you? What if holding on is the very thing blocking your breakthrough? What if your fear of losing is keeping you from receiving? You see, you have been asking me for change. You have been praying for clarity. You have been seeking peace. But when I begin to remove what disturbs your peace, you hold on to it. When I begin to shift your direction, you resist it. When I begin to answer your prayers, you question the process. My child, I do not work in confusion. If something is leaving your life, let it go. If something no longer feels right, trust that feeling. If something keeps draining you, stop feeding it your energy, because I am not trying to take from you. I am trying to free you. Free you from cycles that repeat. Free you from attachments that weaken you. Free you from environments that limit you. You have outgrown things, but you are still trying to carry them. And that is why you feel heavy. That is why you feel tired, even when you have done nothing. That is why your spirit feels restless, even when everything seems fine on the outside. Because your soul knows it is time. Time to move, time to release, time to rise. But rising requires separation. You cannot elevate while staying connected to what pulls you down. You cannot grow while holding on to what keeps you small. You cannot hear me clearly while surrounding yourself with noise. So I am asking you again, not as a command, but as an invitation. Trust what you feel. That discomfort, that hesitation, that inner knowing that something is not aligned, that is me guiding you. Stop ignoring it. Stop silencing it. Stop convincing yourself to stay where you are no longer meant to be. Because every time you ignore that voice, you delay your own peace. My chosen one, you are not meant to live in confusion. You are not meant to constantly question your worth. You are not meant to feel drained by the same situations again and again. You are meant to live with clarity, with strength, with purpose. And that begins with obedience to what you already know. You already know what you need to walk away from. You already know what you need to stop entertaining. You already know what no longer aligns with who you are becoming. You don't need more signs. You don't need more validation. You need courage. Courage to choose growth over comfort. Courage to choose peace over familiarity. Courage to choose yourself, the version of you I am calling forward. And I know it's not easy. I know letting go can feel like loss. I know walking away can feel like breaking something. But my child, sometimes things must break so you can be rebuilt correctly. Sometimes endings are not failures, they are corrections. And what I have for you cannot be built on what was never right for you. So do not be afraid of what you're leaving behind. Be excited about what you're stepping into, because where you are going, there is more peace, more clarity, more strength, more alignment. But you must take the step, even if it's small, even if it's uncertain, even if it feels uncomfortable. Move, and I will meet you there. If you feel this in your spirit right now, if something inside you is saying this is true, then don't stay silent. Type, "I trust the process," in the comments. Let that be your declaration. Let that be your commitment to yourself and to me. Because this is not just a message you hear, this is a message you live. Stay with me, my child. There is more I am about to reveal. My child, look at me. Not at your past, not at what didn't work, not at who left, not at what broke you. Look at me. Because every time you turn your focus backward, you weaken your ability to move forward. And I see you replaying conversations in your mind, revisiting moments that are already over, questioning what you could have done differently, wondering if you should go back, just to fix it, just to feel something familiar again. But my child, listen carefully. What is behind you is not calling you forward. It is calling you back. And where I am leading you cannot be reached by going in reverse. You are not meant to rebuild what I allowed to fall apart. You are not meant to chase what I removed. You are not meant to relive what I already brought you out of. Yet, you keep looking back. Why? Because your heart remembers the good parts. Because your mind edits the pain. Because your loneliness makes the past look safer than it truly was. But I see the full picture. I saw what you cried about. I saw what drained you. I saw what you tolerated when you deserved better. I saw how you lost pieces of yourself, trying to hold on to something that was never meant to stay. And still, I brought you out, not to punish you, but to restore you. Not to take something away, but to give you something better. Yet now, you stand at the edge of your next step, and you hesitate. Because moving forward requires leaving behind everything that feels familiar. And familiarity can feel like comfort, even when it was the very thing that hurt you. My chosen one, hear me clearly. Comfort is not always alignment. Just because something feels known does not mean it is right. Just because something feels easy to return to does not mean it is meant for you. You are being called higher, and higher requires letting go. Letting go of old versions of yourself. Letting go of old expectations. Letting go of attachments that no longer match who you are becoming. You have changed, even if you don't fully see it yet. You no longer think the same. You no longer tolerate the same. You no longer desire the same things at your core. And that is why going back feels off. That is why even the thought of returning brings a quiet discomfort. Because your spirit knows you don't belong there anymore. So stop trying to fit back into spaces you have outgrown. Stop trying to reconnect with what I disconnected. Stop trying to force alignment where I have already created distance. Because every time you go back, you delay your next level. Every time you reopen a closed door, you step away from the one I am opening ahead of you. And my child, what is ahead of you is greater than anything behind you. But you must trust me enough to walk forward without needing to look back for reassurance. You keep asking, what if I make the wrong decision? But I am asking you, what if staying where you are is the wrong decision? You keep asking, what if I lose something important? But I am telling you, if it was truly meant for you, you would not have lost it. You keep asking, what if I regret moving on? But my child, regret does not come from moving forward. It comes from staying stuck. It comes from ignoring what you know deep inside. It comes from choosing comfort over growth again and again. And you are tired of that cycle, aren't you? Tired of repeating the same lessons. Tired of feeling the same pain. Tired of starting over because you went back when you should have moved on. This is your moment to break that pattern. This is your moment to choose differently. This is your moment to trust that what I removed was not a loss. It was a redirection. I am not asking you to forget everything. I am asking you to release it, to take the lesson and leave the weight, to take the growth and leave the attachment, to take the wisdom and leave the pain. Because you cannot carry both your past and your future at the same time. One will always weigh you down, so choose wisely. My chosen one, I am doing something new in your life, something you cannot fully see yet, but you can feel. A shift, a change, a quiet unfolding, and it requires your full attention. Not divided, not distracted, not tied to what was, but focused on what is becoming. You are stepping into a season of clarity, a season where things will begin to make sense, a season where your decisions will feel stronger, a season where your path will become clearer. But only if you stop looking back, because clarity does not come to a divided mind. It comes to a surrendered one. So surrender, not in defeat, but in trust. Trust that I know what I am doing in your life. Trust that I am leading you correctly. Trust that what is ahead is worth the release. And take the step, even if it feels uncertain, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if it feels like you are leaving something behind. Because you are not losing, you are moving. And I am with you every step of the way. If you feel this truth in your heart right now, if you know it's time to stop looking back, then don't ignore this moment. Type, I release the past in the comments. Let that be your declaration. Let that be your decision. Because this is the moment everything begins to change. Stay with me, my child. We are not done yet. My child, listen to me closely. You have called it rejection. You have called it loss. You have called it failure. But I am telling you now, you have misunderstood what happened to you. You were not rejected. You were redirected. I saw what you could not see. I saw the outcome before you ever stepped into it. I saw the conversations that would have broken you. I saw the betrayal you would not have been prepared for. I saw the doors that looked promising, but led to emptiness. And because I love you, I did not allow it to continue. But when it ended, you felt abandoned. When it didn't work out, you felt unworthy. When they walked away, you questioned your value. You asked yourself, what did I do wrong? Why wasn't I enough? Why does this keep happening to me? My child, nothing was wrong with you. You were simply not meant to stay there. Not every closed door is a reflection of your worth. Some doors close because they are not aligned with your purpose. Some people leave because they cannot go where you are going. Some opportunities fall apart because they are not built for your future. But instead of seeing my protection, you saw it as rejection. Instead of recognizing my guidance, you interpreted it as failure. And that is why the pain stayed longer than it needed to, because you kept trying to understand it from a place of loss instead of trusting it as a place of redirection. My chosen one, hear me clearly now. I do not remove anything from your life without a reason. If I allowed it to leave, it is because it could not stay. If I closed that door, it is because something better requires your attention. If I disrupted your plans, it is because I am aligning you with a greater one. But you must stop taking it personally. Stop making every ending about your worth. Stop believing that things fall apart because you are not enough. You are enough. You have always been enough. But not everything is meant for you. And that is not a reflection of your value. It is a reflection of my plan. You wanted it to work. You invested your time, your energy, your emotions. You saw potential. You imagined a future. And when it didn't happen, it hurt. I know it hurt. I saw your tears. I felt your disappointment. I heard the silence in your prayers when you didn't even know what to say. But even in that moment, I was working. Even in that pain, I was protecting you. Even in that ending, I was redirecting you. Because where I am taking you requires a different path, a clearer path, a stronger foundation, a more aligned direction. And what you lost could not provide that. My child, you must begin to see differently. Not everything that ends is a tragedy. Some endings are necessary. Some endings are answers. Some endings are the very thing that saves you from a greater pain. You keep asking, why did it happen like that? But I am telling you, it happened that way so you would not stay. Because if it had been easier, you would have settled. If it had been smoother, you would have remained. If it had been comfortable, you would have ignored the signs. So I allowed it to shake you, not to break you, but to move you. And now, here you are, stronger than before, wiser than before, more aware than before. Even if you don't fully realize it yet, you are not the same person who walked into that situation. You have grown, you have learned, you have awakened to things you once ignored, and that growth is preparing you for what is next. So stop mourning what I removed. Stop wishing for what was not aligned. Stop trying to recreate what I already ended, because my plan for you is not behind you. It is ahead of you, and it requires your trust. Trust that I know what I am doing. Trust that I am not leading you into emptiness. Trust that every redirection is leading you closer to your purpose. My chosen one, you are not lost. You are being guided. You are not stuck. You are being positioned. You are not falling behind. You are being prepared. But preparation requires patience, and patience requires trust. So trust me here. Even if you don't understand everything, even if you still feel the emotions, even if part of you still wonders, what if? Let that question go, because what if will keep you tied to something that is no longer yours. And you are not meant to live in possibilities that no longer exist. You are meant to walk in the reality I am creating for you now. So lift your focus, shift your perspective, and begin to see every closed door as direction, every ending as alignment, every loss as protection. Because that is what it truly is. And the moment you understand that, you will stop resisting your path and start walking in it with confidence. If this message is speaking to your spirit, if you are ready to stop calling it rejection and start seeing it as redirection, then respond. Type, I trust your direction in the comments. Let that be your declaration today. Because your healing begins when your perspective changes. Stay with me, my child. There is more you need to understand. My child, breathe. Slow down for a moment and listen to me, not with your ears, but with your spirit. Because you have been telling yourself something that is not true. You have been saying, I feel stuck. I'm not moving forward. Nothing is changing. And the longer you repeat that, the more it begins to feel real. But my child, hear me clearly. You are not stuck. You are being prepared. There is a difference. Being stuck means nothing is happening, but preparation means everything is happening, just not in a way you can immediately see. And that is where your frustration comes from, because you are measuring progress by what is visible. You are looking for external proof, external movement, external results. But I have been working internally, deep within you, reshaping your mindset, strengthening your spirit, correcting your patterns, healing parts of you that you ignored for too long. And internal work takes time. It is quiet. It is unseen. It does not always feel like progress, but it is the most important kind of growth you will ever experience, because what I am building in you will sustain what I am bringing to you. My chosen one, if I gave you everything you asked for right now, would you be ready to keep it? Would you know how to handle it? Would you recognize what is right and what is not? Or would you fall back into old habits, old thinking, old patterns that would cause you to lose it again. You see, I am not just concerned with giving you blessings. I am concerned with preparing you to sustain them. And that requires transformation. Real transformation. Not temporary change, not surface-level adjustments, but deep, lasting growth. And that is what this season has been about. Even though it felt slow, even though it felt uncertain, even though it felt like nothing was happening, my child, everything was happening. You were learning patience. You were learning discernment. You were learning how to be alone without feeling empty. You were learning how to trust yourself again. You were learning how to hear me without needing constant confirmation. These lessons are not small. They are foundational. Because where you are going requires stability, requires clarity, requires strength that cannot be shaken by every situation. And that is what I have been building in you. But I know it hasn't been easy. There were moments you felt tired, moments you questioned everything, moments you wondered if you were doing something wrong, moments you compared your journey to others and felt behind. But my child, your path is not meant to look like theirs. Your timing is not meant to match theirs. What I am doing in your life is specific to you, and comparison will only distract you from your own growth. So stop measuring your progress by someone else's timeline. Stop thinking you are late. Stop believing you are missing out. You are right on time. Exactly where you need to be for what I am preparing for you. But preparation requires trust. Trust that even when you don't see movement, there is still progress. Trust that even when things feel slow, they are still aligning. Trust that even when you feel uncertain, you are still being guided. Because I have not left you, not for a moment. Every delay you experienced had a purpose. Every pause you went through had a reason. Every moment of stillness was shaping you. You were not being held back. You were being held in place until everything was ready. Until you were ready. And now, something is shifting. You feel it, don't you? A subtle change, a new awareness, a quiet confidence starting to rise within you. That is the result of your preparation. That is the evidence of your growth. And soon, what was happening internally will begin to show externally. Doors will open, opportunities will appear, clarity will increase, and you will realize you were never stuck. You were being positioned for something better, something more aligned, something that matches the person you have become. So do not rush this process. Do not try to skip steps. Do not force what is not ready yet, because when the time comes, it will happen naturally. It will flow. It will make sense, and you will be ready to receive it fully. My chosen one, trust the preparation. Trust the timing. Trust me. Because I am not delaying you, I am developing you. And what is being developed in you now will carry you further than anything you could have forced on your own. If you understand this, if you are ready to stop calling it being stuck and start recognizing it as preparation, then respond with faith. Type, "I am being prepared" in the comments. Let that be your reminder. Let that be your truth. Because your breakthrough is not behind you. It is being built within you right now. And it is closer than you think. And my child, if these words are strengthening your spirit, if they are bringing you clarity and peace, stay until the end of this message series. What you are receiving is not just motivation. It is guidance for your life. Something you can apply. Something that will change how you move, how you think, how you choose. And if you feel this message has value, if it is helping you grow, helping you see clearly, then take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs the same direction. And if your heart feels led and you want to support this ministry so these messages can continue to reach those who are lost, those who are searching, those who need clarity, you can do that through the link given below. Stay with me, my child. We are just getting started. My child, come closer. Be still for a moment, because what I am about to show you requires your full attention. You have been carrying something heavy, not in your hands, but in your mind. The need to control everything, to understand everything, to predict every outcome before it happens, to make sure nothing goes wrong, so you don't get hurt again. And I understand why. You have experienced disappointment. You have trusted before, and it didn't go the way you expected. You have stepped forward with hope, only to be met with confusion. So now, you try to protect yourself by thinking ahead, by analyzing every possibility, by holding tightly to every situation so nothing slips out of your control. But my child, listen carefully. Control is not protection. It is pressure. And you have been exhausting yourself, trying to manage things that were never yours to carry. You are trying to control people's actions, trying to control outcomes, trying to control timing, trying to control how everything unfolds so you can feel safe. But in doing so, you are creating anxiety. You are creating overthinking. You are creating a cycle where your mind never rests because it is always trying to figure out, what if? What if this goes wrong? What if this doesn't work out? What if I make the wrong decision? What if I lose something important? My child, those questions are not giving you peace. They are taking it from you, because peace does not come from control. Peace comes from trust. Trust that I am guiding you. Trust that I am protecting you. Trust that even if something does not go the way you planned, it is still working in your favor. You do not need to have everything figured out. You do not need to know every step. You do not need to force clarity before it arrives. Because I am already ahead of you. I am already in the outcome. I am already aligning things in ways you cannot see. But your need to control is making you feel like everything depends on you. And it does not. You are responsible for your choices, yes. But you are not responsible for controlling every result. That is where you must release. Release the pressure. Release the overthinking. Release the constant need to figure it all out. Because the more you try to control, the more disconnected you become from my guidance. You stop listening. You start forcing. You stop trusting. You start fearing. And fear will never lead you to the right place. My chosen one, I am asking you to surrender. Not in weakness, but in strength. Because surrender is not giving up. It is letting go of what was never yours to carry and trusting me to handle it. Surrender your need to know everything. Surrender your need to control outcomes. Surrender your fear of things not going as planned. Because my plan is greater than anything you could create on your own. And yes, there will be moments where you don't understand. Moments where things feel uncertain. Moments where you are tempted to take control again, just to feel secure. But that is where your faith grows. That is where you choose trust, even when it feels uncomfortable. Because faith is not about having proof. It is about having confidence, even without it. You are learning to walk differently now. Not based on fear, not based on control, but based on trust. And that shift is powerful. Because when you stop trying to control everything, you create space. Space for peace. Space for clarity. Space for my guidance to reach you without interference. You will begin to notice it. Your thoughts will slow down. Your decisions will feel clearer. Your spirit will feel lighter. Not because everything around you has changed, but because something within you has shifted. You will no longer feel the need to chase answers, because you will trust that they will come at the right time. You will no longer feel the need to force situations, because you will trust that what is meant for you will align naturally. You will no longer feel the need to hold on tightly, because you will trust that what belongs in your life will remain, and what doesn't will fall away. My child, this is freedom. Freedom from overthinking. Freedom from pressure. Freedom from the constant need to control. And this freedom will allow you to move forward with peace, with confidence, with clarity. So today, I am asking you to let go. Let go of the need to control every detail. Let go of the fear of uncertainty. Let go of the belief that everything depends on you, because it does not. I am with you. I am guiding you. I am handling what you cannot see, and I will not fail you. If this message is speaking directly to your spirit, if you feel ready to release control and trust me more deeply, then declare it. Type, I release control, and choose trust in the comments. Let that be your step today. Not just words, but a decision, a shift, a new way of moving through your life. And my child, stay with me until the end. Do not leave halfway, because each part of this message is building something within you. Something you will carry into your decisions, your relationships, your purpose. This is not just something you listen to. This is something you live. Stay with me. There is more I am revealing to you. My child, listen to me carefully, because what I am about to say, you need to hear deeply, not just once, but in a way that settles into your spirit. You have been doubting yourself, not always out loud, but quietly, in your thoughts, in your decisions, in the way you hesitate, even when you feel something is right. You second guess, you overthink, you question your instincts. You ask yourself, am I making the right choice? Am I good enough for this? Can I really do this? And those questions have been slowing you down, not because you lack ability, but because you lack confidence in what I have already placed within you. My chosen one, hear me clearly. You are not as uncertain as you think you are. You are just not trusting what you already know. I have been guiding you, speaking to you, through your awareness, through that inner sense that tells you when something feels right and when something feels off, through moments of clarity that come quietly, without noise. But instead of trusting that, you look outside. You ask others to confirm what you already feel. You wait for signs, even after I have shown you enough. You delay decisions because you fear making a mistake. But my child, you are not meant to live in hesitation. You are meant to move with discernment. And discernment is already growing within you. You have learned from your past. You have seen what works and what does not. You have experienced enough to recognize patterns. You are not the same person who once didn't know better. You know more now. You see more now. You understand more now. So why do you still doubt yourself? Why do you still act like you are unaware when you have already grown? It is because of fear. Fear of getting it wrong. Fear of failing again. Fear of making a decision that leads to disappointment. But my child, listen. Growth does not come from avoiding mistakes. It comes from trusting yourself, even when you are unsure. It comes from moving forward, even when everything is not perfectly clear. It comes from believing that even if something does not go as planned, you will still learn, still grow, still be guided. You are not expected to be perfect. You are expected to be willing. Willing to step forward. Willing to trust your development. Willing to believe that you are capable, even before you feel fully ready. Because readiness does not always come before action. Sometimes it comes because of action. You have been waiting to feel completely confident before you move. But confidence grows as you move, not before. So if you keep waiting, you will keep delaying your own progress. My chosen one, I did not bring you this far to leave you uncertain. I have been building something inside of you. Strength, awareness, discernment, clarity. But you must start using it. You must start trusting it. You must stop treating yourself like you are still the person you used to be. You are not. You have evolved, and your decisions must reflect that. Stop asking yourself, what if I fail? Start asking yourself, what if I succeed? Stop focusing on what could go wrong. Start recognizing what could go right, because your perspective shapes your movement, and your movement shapes your life. If you keep doubting, you will stay still. If you start trusting, you will begin to move. And movement is what you need right now. Not perfection, not complete certainty, just movement. One step, one decision, one act of trust, and then another. That is how your path unfolds. Not all at once, but step by step, guided, aligned, and supported. My child, you are capable. More capable than you give yourself credit for. You have what you need within you. You are not lacking. You are not unprepared. You are not behind. You are ready to begin. But you must stop doubting that, because doubt will keep you in the same place, while trust will move you forward. So today, choose trust, not in everything being perfect, but in yourself, in your growth, in the guidance you have already received. Because I am not distant from you. I am within you, guiding you, quietly, consistently. And when you begin to trust yourself, you are also trusting me. If this message is reaching your heart, if you know it is time to stop doubting and start trusting yourself, then declare it. Type, "I trust myself now," in the comments. Let that be your shift. Let that be your decision. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer moving in hesitation. You are moving in confidence. Stay with me, my child. There is still more I need to show you. My child, come closer and listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal to you is something that will change how you move through your life every single day. You have been feeling drained, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. There are moments where you wake up tired, even after resting. Moments where your mind feels heavy, even when nothing obvious has happened. Moments where your peace disappears, and you cannot fully explain why. And you have been asking yourself, what is wrong with me? Why do I feel like this? But my child, nothing is wrong with you. You are simply not protecting your energy. You are allowing too much access, too many voices, too many opinions, too many environments that do not align with your peace. You are giving your attention, your time, your presence to things that quietly drain you. And because it happens slowly, you do not always recognize it. But your spirit feels it. That discomfort you feel after certain conversations, that heaviness that follows certain interactions, that tension that lingers after being in certain environments, that is not random. That is your spirit responding. That is your awareness trying to tell you this is not for you. But instead of listening, you ignore it. You stay. You engage. You tolerate. You tell yourself, it's not a big deal. But my child, it is. Because what you repeatedly allow will eventually affect you. Energy is real. What you surround yourself with will shape how you feel, how you think, how you act. And if you continue to stay in environments that disturb your peace, you will begin to lose your clarity. You will begin to feel confused. You will begin to feel disconnected, not because you are lost, but because you are overloaded. My chosen one, hear me clearly. Not everything deserves your access. Not every conversation needs your presence. Not every opinion needs your attention. Not every person needs your energy. You must become selective, not out of pride, but out of wisdom. Because your peace is valuable. Your clarity is valuable. Your focus is valuable. And you cannot afford to give it away carelessly. You have grown. You are becoming more aware, more sensitive to what aligns and what does not. And with that growth comes responsibility. The responsibility to protect what is within you. You cannot keep allowing the same things and expect to feel different. You cannot keep entertaining negativity and expect to feel peace. You cannot keep surrounding yourself with confusion and expect clarity. It does not work that way. So I am asking you now, pay attention. Pay attention to how you feel after certain situations. Pay attention to what drains you and what restores you. Pay attention to what brings you peace and what disturbs it. Because those feelings are guiding you. They are showing you what is aligned and what is not. And once you recognize it, you must act on it. Create distance where needed. Set boundaries where necessary. Walk away when something no longer feels right. You do not need to explain yourself to everyone. You do not need to justify your peace. You do not need to stay where you feel drained just to make others comfortable. My child, your well-being matters. Your peace matters, and protecting it is not selfish. It is necessary. You are not here to absorb everyone's energy. You are not here to carry everyone's weight. You are not here to fix everything around you. You are here to grow, to align, to move forward with clarity and strength. And that requires a different level of awareness, a different level of discipline, a different level of boundaries. Because where you are going requires focus, requires stability, requires a clear mind and a peaceful spirit. And that cannot exist if you are constantly surrounded by what drains you. So choose wisely. Choose what you allow into your space. Choose what you give your attention to. Choose what you entertain and what you release. Because every choice affects your energy. And your energy affects your life. My chosen one, this is your moment to shift. To stop giving access so freely. To stop ignoring what you feel. To stop staying in places that no longer align, and to stop protecting what I am building within you. Because what I am building is valuable, and it must be guarded. If you feel this truth in your spirit, if you know it is time to protect your energy and choose your peace, then declare it. Type, "I protect my energy," in the comments. Let that be your decision today. Not just words, but action. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer available for what drains you. You are only available for what aligns with your growth. Stay with me, my child. There is more I am revealing to you. My child, listen to me with honesty in your heart. Because what I am about to reveal, you already know deep inside. You have been looking outward for something that can only be found within. Validation, approval, recognition. You have been seeking it in people, in their words, in their reactions, in how they respond to you, how they treat you, how they acknowledge you. And when you receive it, you feel uplifted. But when you don't, you begin to question yourself. You begin to wonder, am I enough? Am I doing the right thing? Why don't they see my value? My child, hear me clearly. Your worth is not determined by who recognizes it. You are not valuable because someone approves of you. You are not worthy because someone validates you. You are not important because someone acknowledges you. You are valuable because of who you are. And who you are was not created to be measured by human opinion. But somewhere along your journey, you started depending on it. You started looking at others to confirm what you should already believe about yourself. You started adjusting yourself to fit what others expect. You started shrinking parts of yourself so you would be accepted. And in doing that, you lost connection with your truth. You became more focused on how you are seen than on who you truly are. My chosen one, this is where you must shift. Because as long as you depend on validation from others, you will never feel stable within yourself. You will always feel uncertain, always questioning, always adjusting. Because people's opinions are not consistent. They change, they fluctuate, they depend on their own perspective, their own experiences, their own limitations. So if you build your identity on that, you will constantly feel unstable. But when you begin to validate yourself, everything changes. You no longer need constant approval. You no longer feel shaken by others' opinions. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself. Because you know who you are. And that knowing is enough. My child, I have already confirmed you. I have already chosen you. I have already placed value within you. You do not need the world to agree with it. You only need to recognize it. You only need to accept it. You only need to stand in it without hesitation. But that requires confidence. Not loud confidence. Not forced confidence. But quiet, steady confidence. The kind that does not need to be announced. The kind that does not depend on attention. The kind that remains, even when no one is watching. That is the confidence I am building in you. But you must stop seeking it outside. Stop waiting for others to tell you that you are enough. Stop needing reassurance for every decision you make. Stop looking for approval before you take a step. because you will delay your life, waiting for permission that is not required. My chosen one, you are allowed to move forward without everyone understanding you. You are allowed to grow without everyone supporting you. You are allowed to choose differently without everyone agreeing with you. Because your path is not theirs. Your calling is not theirs. Your journey is not meant to be validated by those who are not walking it. So stop explaining yourself to people who do not see what you see. Stop proving your worth to those who do not recognize it. Stop adjusting your path just to fit someone else's expectations, because in doing so, you move further away from who you are meant to be and closer to who others want you to be. And that will never bring you peace. My child, your peace comes from alignment. Alignment with your truth. Alignment with your purpose. Alignment with my guidance. And that alignment does not require approval. It requires trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in your growth. Trust in the direction you are being led. And when you begin to trust that, you will no longer feel the need to seek validation. You will move with confidence. You will decide with clarity. You will stand firm, even when others question you. Because you will know you are not acting from insecurity. You are acting from alignment. And that is powerful. So today, release the need for validation. Release the need for approval. Release the need to be understood by everyone, because you were not created to be understood by everyone. You were created to be true to yourself. And when you live in that truth, the right people will recognize it. The right opportunities will align with it. The right path will unfold from it. But it begins with you, choosing to see your own value without needing others to confirm it. If you feel this message deeply, if you are ready to stop seeking validation and start standing in your worth, then declare it. Type, "I validate myself" in the comments. Let that be your shift. Let that be your foundation. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer waiting for approval. You are walking in confidence. Stay with me, my child. There is still more you must understand. My child, listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal to you will change how you move every single day. You have been waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel motivated, waiting for the right mood, the right energy, the right moment to begin. You tell yourself, "I'll start tomorrow. I'll do it when I feel better. I'll move when I feel more confident." But tomorrow comes, and nothing changes. The feeling fades, the motivation disappears, and you remain in the same place with the same intentions, but no movement. My child, hear me clearly. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is transformation. Motivation comes and goes. It depends on how you feel. It depends on your mood. It depends on your circumstances. But discipline does not wait for feelings. Discipline moves regardless of them. And where you are going cannot be reached by motivation alone. Because the path ahead will not always feel exciting. It will not always feel easy. It will not always feel comfortable. There will be days you feel tired, days you feel uncertain, days you feel like stopping. And if you rely only on motivation, you will stop. But discipline will keep you moving, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's hard, even when progress feels slow. And that is what you need right now. Consistency, not perfection, not bursts of effort followed by long pauses, but steady, intentional movement, step by step, day by day. My chosen one, you already know what you need to do. You know the habits you need to build. You know the distractions you need to remove. You know the actions you have been avoiding. You do not lack knowledge. You lack consistency. And that is where discipline comes in. Discipline is not about doing everything perfectly. It is about showing up even when it's not perfect. Doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Choosing growth even when comfort is easier. Because every small action builds momentum, and momentum creates change. You keep waiting for a big breakthrough, a big moment that suddenly changes everything. But my child, real change happens in small decisions. The choice to get up when you want to stay down, the choice to focus when distractions call you, the choice to move forward even when it feels slow. These choices may seem small, but they are powerful because they build discipline. And discipline builds your future. My chosen one, your life will not change by intention alone. It will change by action. Consistent action, aligned action, purposeful action. And I am not asking you to do everything at once. I am asking you to start. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Start with one step, and then take another, and another. Because progress is built through repetition, not perfection. You will not feel motivated every day. You will not feel inspired every day. But you can choose to be disciplined every day. You can choose to show up. You can choose to do the work. You can choose to stay committed even when it's hard. And that commitment will separate you from where you are and where you want to be. My child, you are capable of more than you are currently doing, not because you are failing, but because you are holding back, waiting, delaying, hesitating, and all of that is costing you time. Time that you cannot get back. Time that could have been used to grow, to build, to move forward. So I am asking you now, stop waiting, stop delaying, stop telling yourself later. Because later becomes never. And you were not created to stay where you are. You were created to grow, to evolve, to move. And that movement requires discipline. So build it, one habit at a time, one decision at a time, one action at a time. And over time, you will see the difference. You will feel stronger, more focused, more confident. Because discipline creates results. And results build belief. Belief in yourself, belief in your ability, belief in your path. My chosen one, this is your moment to shift, to stop depending on how you feel, and start committing to what you know you need to do. Because your future is built by what you do daily, not occasionally. So choose discipline, choose consistency, choose growth, even when it's uncomfortable. Because everything you are seeking is on the other side of that commitment. If you are ready to stop waiting for motivation and start building discipline in your life, then declare it. Type, "I choose discipline" in the comments. Let that be your decision today. Let that be your new standard. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer waiting to feel ready. You are taking action and becoming ready along the way. And my child, if these words are guiding you, strengthening you, helping you move differently in your life, stay until the end of this journey. Do not leave halfway, because each part is building something inside you that will change how you think, how you act, and how you choose. If you feel the value in this message, take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this direction in their life. And if your heart feels called to support this ministry so more lives can be reached, more people can find clarity and strength, you can do so through the link given below. Stay with me, my child. There is still more ahead for you. My child, be still. Quiet your mind for a moment, because I need you to hear this clearly. You have been thinking too much, analyzing every situation, replaying every conversation, trying to predict every outcome before it happens. You go over the same thoughts again and again. What did they mean by that? Did I say the right thing? What if this goes wrong? What if I make a mistake? And the more you think, the more confused you become, the more uncertain you feel, the more anxious your spirit gets. My child, hear me clearly. Not every thought deserves your attention. Just because something enters your mind does not mean it is true, does not mean it is important, does not mean it needs to be analyzed. But you have been treating every thought like it must be solved. And in doing that, you have created noise. Mental noise, spiritual noise, and that noise is blocking your clarity, because clarity does not come from overthinking. Clarity comes from stillness, from quiet, from trusting, what you already feel, without trying to overanalyze it. You already know more than you think you do. You already feel when something is right and when something is not. But instead of trusting that, you question it. You go back and forth. You look for more reasons, more explanations, more certainty. And in that process, you lose the simplicity of truth. My chosen one, truth is not complicated. It is clear. It is steady. It is quiet. But overthinking makes everything feel complicated. It makes simple decisions feel overwhelming. It makes clear situations feel confusing. It makes small things feel heavy. And that is why you feel tired, even when you have done nothing. Because your mind has been working constantly, trying to control, trying to understand, trying to solve everything at once. But my child, you were not created to carry that kind of mental weight. You were created to trust, to move with clarity, to act with peace, not pressure. So I am asking you now, slow down your thoughts. You do not need to figure everything out right now. You do not need to have all the answers. You do not need to solve every possibility before you move. Because life does not unfold all at once. It unfolds step by step, moment by moment, decision by decision. And when you try to think too far ahead, you overwhelm yourself. You create fear. You create doubt. You create hesitation instead of clarity. So bring your focus back to now. What is in front of you? What do you actually need to decide right now? Not tomorrow, not next month, not every possible outcome. Just now. Because when you focus on the present, your mind becomes clearer, your decisions become easier, your spirit becomes lighter. My child, overthinking is not wisdom. It is fear disguised as control. It is your mind trying to protect you by preparing for every possible scenario. But in doing that, it is draining you. And it is keeping you from moving forward. Because you keep waiting until you feel completely sure, completely certain, completely confident. But that moment will not come through overthinking. It will come through trust, through action, through experience. You will not think your way into clarity. You will move your way into clarity. So stop waiting for your thoughts to settle perfectly. They may not, but you can still move forward. You can still choose. You can still act, even with uncertainty. Because clarity grows as you move, not as you overthink. My chosen one, I am guiding you. But you must quiet your mind to hear me. You must create space for clarity to come. You must release the need to analyze everything and trust what you already feel. Because that quiet knowing inside you, that is me. That steady sense, that is me. That feeling of this is right or this is not, that is me guiding you. But you cannot hear it if your mind is too loud. So create stillness. Take a breath. Step away from the noise and listen. Not to your fears, not to your doubts, but to that quiet voice within you. That is where your answers are. That is where your direction is. That is where your peace is. My child, you do not need to think more. You need to trust more. You need to act more. You need to release what is not necessary. Because your mind was never meant to carry everything. So let it go. Let go of the constant analysis. Let go of the need to understand everything. Let go of the pressure to figure it all out and step into trust. Because I am already guiding you. You are not lost. You are just thinking too much. If this message is speaking directly to you, if you know it is time to quiet your mind and stop overthinking everything, then declare it. Type, I release overthinking in the comments. Let that be your decision today, because from this moment forward, you are choosing peace over pressure, clarity over confusion, trust over fear. Stay with me, my child. There is still more I am revealing to you. My child, slow down. Not everything needs to happen right now. Not everything needs to be figured out today. And not everything is delayed just because you cannot see it moving. You have been feeling impatient, restless, eager for change, eager for answers, eager for something to finally shift in your life. And I see it. That quiet frustration, that question in your heart. When will things finally come together? When will I see results? When will everything start making sense? My child, hear me clearly. Everything is already aligning, even if you cannot see it yet. You are looking at your life from where you stand. But I see the full picture. I see what is being arranged behind the scenes. I see the connections forming. I see the doors being prepared. I see the timing coming together piece by piece. And if it feels slow to you, it is because I am doing it right. Not rushed, not forced, not incomplete. Because what is built in haste often falls apart. But what is built with alignment lasts. And I am not preparing something temporary for you. I am preparing something that will sustain you. Something that will not collapse under pressure. Something that will not confuse you. Something that will not leave you questioning. But for that to happen, timing must be right. Not just for the situation, but for you. Because if things came too early, you would not recognize them. If doors opened too soon, you would not be ready to walk through them. If answers came too fast, you would not understand their value. So I am not delaying you. I am aligning everything. Aligning people. Aligning opportunities. Aligning circumstances. Aligning your mindset, your strength, your clarity. Because everything must come together at the right moment. And that moment is closer than you think. But impatience will make it feel far. Because impatience focuses on what is missing, while trust focuses on what is forming. My chosen one, you must shift your focus. Stop looking at what has not happened yet, and start recognizing what is already changing. Look at yourself. You are not the same. You think differently. You respond differently. You see things more clearly now. That is alignment. Look at your life. Things that once felt normal no longer feel right. That is alignment. Look at your awareness. You are noticing things you used to ignore. That is alignment. Change is happening, just not all at once, because real change is layered. It builds, it unfolds, and you are in the middle of that unfolding. So, do not rush it. Do not force it. Do not try to skip ahead, because when the time is right, things will move quickly. Doors will open. Answers will come, clarity will increase, and you will realize everything was happening exactly when it needed to. My child, patience is not passive. It is active trust. It is choosing to remain steady, even when you cannot see the outcome yet. It is choosing to believe, even when there is no immediate evidence. It is choosing to stay committed, even when progress feels slow. And that kind of patience is powerful because it keeps you grounded. It keeps you focused. It keeps you aligned while everything else is coming together. You are not being forgotten. You are not being overlooked. You are not being left behind. You are being positioned for something that requires the right timing. And when it arrives, you will understand why it could not have happened sooner. So do not lose faith now. Do not give up now. Do not become frustrated now, because you are closer than you realize. Closer to clarity. Closer to breakthrough. Closer to the moment where everything begins to make sense. But you must stay steady, stay patient, stay trusting, because rushing will only create confusion, while patience will keep you aligned. My chosen one, trust the timing. Trust the process. Trust me. Because I am not late. I am precise. And what I am preparing for you will arrive at the perfect moment. If this message is speaking to your spirit, if you are ready to release impatience and trust that everything is aligning for you, then declare it. Type, "I trust divine timing," in the comments. Let that be your reminder. Let that be your peace. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer rushing your life. You are allowing it to unfold exactly as it should. Stay with me, my child. There is still more ahead for you. My child, come closer. This part may be difficult for you to hear, but it is necessary, because what you are carrying is heavier than you realize. You have been holding on to pain, not always openly, not always in a way others can see, but deep within you it is there. The memories, the disappointment, the betrayal, the words that hurt you, the situations that left you confused, broken, questioning yourself. And even though time has passed, something in you has not fully let go. You say, I've moved on. You say, it doesn't affect me anymore. But when you think about it, when you remember it, you still feel something. A heaviness, a tension, a quiet resistance. My child, that is not freedom. That is unhealed weight. And it is affecting you more than you know. Because what you do not release, you carry. And what you carry shapes how you think, how you feel, how you move. It affects your peace. It affects your trust. It affects your ability to fully step into what I have for you, because part of you is still holding on to what hurt you. And I understand why. You were wronged. You were hurt. You were treated in ways you did not deserve. And your pain is valid. I am not asking you to ignore it. I am not asking you to pretend it did not happen. But I am asking you to forgive, not for them, but for you, because forgiveness is not about excusing what happened. It is about releasing the hold it has on you. It is about choosing your peace over your pain. It is about freeing yourself from something that continues to drain you. My chosen one, holding on to anger will not protect you. Holding on to resentment will not heal you. Holding on to the past will not change what happened. It will only keep you tied to it. And you are not meant to live tied to your past. You are meant to move forward, freely. But freedom requires release. And release requires forgiveness. You may say, but they don't deserve my forgiveness. And you are right. Maybe they don't. But this is not about what they deserve. This is about what you deserve. You deserve peace. You deserve clarity. You deserve to wake up without carrying that weight. You deserve to move forward without being pulled back by old pain. And that is what forgiveness gives you. It gives you freedom, not instantly, not all at once, but gradually, as you choose, again and again, to let go, to release, to stop replaying, to stop holding on to what no longer serves you. My child, forgiveness is a process. It does not happen in one moment. It happens in steps, in decisions, in choosing not to dwell on it, even when it comes back to your mind, in choosing peace, even when pain tries to return. And yes, it may feel difficult. It may feel like you are letting something go that still matters to you. But what you are actually doing is choosing yourself, choosing your healing, choosing your future, because you cannot carry both your pain and your purpose. One will always limit the other. And I did not create you to live limited. I created you to be free. Free in your mind, free in your spirit, free in your heart. But you must choose that freedom. You must choose to release what is no longer yours to carry. You must choose to forgive, even when it feels hard. Because on the other side of that forgiveness is peace, real peace. The kind that is not disturbed by the past. The kind that allows you to move forward without hesitation. The kind that opens your heart to new experiences, new connections, new opportunities. Because you are no longer holding on to what hurt you. You are open to what is meant for you. My chosen one, this is your moment, not to forget, but to release, not to ignore, but to heal, not to hold on, but to let go. Because what is ahead of you requires a lighter heart, a clearer mind, a freer spirit, and forgiveness is the key to that. So take a step today, even if it's small, even if it's simply saying, I am ready to let this go. That is enough, because every step toward forgiveness is a step toward freedom. If this message is speaking deeply to your heart, if you are ready to release the pain and choose your peace, then declare it. Type, "I choose to forgive and be free" in the comments. Let that be your decision. Let that be your beginning. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer carrying what hurt you. You are stepping into freedom. Stay with me, my child. There is still more I am revealing to you. My child, stay with me. Do not lose focus now. Do not allow doubt to enter at this stage, because you are closer than you realize. I see what you have been carrying. The effort, the waiting, the silent battles no one else knows about, the moments you kept going, even when you felt like stopping, the days you showed up, even when you felt empty, and there were times you almost gave up. Times you questioned everything. Times you wondered if anything would ever change. You asked yourself, is this even worth it? Will things ever work out for me? Am I just wasting my time? My child, hear me clearly. Do not give up now. Not here. Not when you have come this far. Not when everything is beginning to align. Because what you cannot see yet is how close you are. Close to a shift. Close to clarity. Close to a breakthrough that will make sense of everything you went through. But the enemy of your progress right now is discouragement. That quiet voice that tells you, it's taking too long, it's not working, maybe this isn't for you. And if you listen to that voice, you will stop right before things begin to move. My chosen one, you must recognize this moment. This is not the time to quit. This is the time to stay consistent, to stay focused, to stay committed, even when you don't see immediate results. Because the greatest breakthroughs often come right after the hardest moments, right after the longest waits, right after the point where most people give up. And I know it has not been easy. I know you are tired. I know you have been patient for a long time. I know you have been doing your best with what you have. But I am telling you now, your effort is not wasted. Your time is not wasted. Your growth is not wasted. Everything you have been doing has been building something real, something strong, something that is about to show itself. But you must hold on. You must push through this final stage, because this is where your faith is tested, not when things are easy, but when things are uncertain, when you cannot see the outcome, but you must still believe, when you cannot feel the progress, but you must still move. That is where your strength is revealed. That is where your commitment becomes real, and that is where your breakthrough is formed. My child, imagine stopping now, after everything you have gone through, after everything you have learned, after everything you have overcome. Stopping now would mean starting over later, repeating the same cycle, facing the same lessons again. And I know you do not want that. You are ready for something new, something better, something that reflects the growth you have gone through. And that is exactly what is coming. But it requires your endurance, your consistency, your decision to keep going no matter how it feels, because feelings will change. But your commitment must remain. You are not defined by how you feel in a moment. You are defined by what you choose to do, despite how you feel. And right now, you must choose to continue. Even if it's slow, even if it's uncertain, even if it's uncomfortable. Keep moving, keep showing up, keep trusting. Because you are not as far away as you think. You are closer than you have ever been. And soon, you will see it. Soon, things will begin to shift. Doors will open. Opportunities will appear. Clarity will increase. And you will look back at this moment and realize this was the point where everything could have stopped. But you didn't quit. And because you didn't quit, everything changed. My chosen one, stay strong, stay focused, stay committed. Because your time is coming, not someday, not eventually, but soon. And when it arrives, you will understand why you had to go through everything you did. You will understand why it took time. You will understand why you could not give up. So do not lose faith now. Do not step back now. Do not stop now, because everything you have been waiting for is closer than you think. If you feel this in your spirit, if you are ready to keep going and not give up at this stage, then declare it. Type, "I will not give up," in the comments. Let that be your commitment. Let that be your strength. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer questioning your path. You are walking it with confidence. Stay with me, my child. There is still more ahead for you. My child, this is the moment. Not the moment you have been waiting for outside of you, but the moment that is happening within you. Because something is changing, not around you first, but inside you. And if you are honest with yourself, you can feel it. You are not the same person you used to be. The things that once excited you no longer feel the same. The things you once tolerated now feel heavy. The things you once chased no longer align with your spirit. And at times, this shift has confused you. You have asked yourself, why don't I feel the same anymore? Why can't I go back to how things were? Why does everything feel different? My child, it feels different because you are different. You are evolving. You are growing. You are stepping into a new version of yourself. And that version of you cannot live the same way you used to, cannot think the same way you used to, cannot stay in the same spaces you used to. Because growth changes your alignment. It changes what feels right. It changes what you are drawn to. It changes what you are willing to accept. And right now, you are in the middle of that transformation. But here is where you must be careful. Because when you are becoming someone new, there is a temptation to go back to what feels familiar, to shrink yourself, to fit into places you have already outgrown, to return to habits that no longer serve you, just because they are comfortable. But my chosen one, hear me clearly. You cannot become who you are meant to be while holding on to who you used to be. You must step forward, fully, not halfway, not with one foot in the past and one foot in the future, but completely. Because the life ahead of you requires a new mindset, a new level of discipline, a new level of awareness, a new level of self-respect. And that version of you is already forming. But you must choose to step into it. You must stop doubting your growth. Stop questioning your change. Stop trying to go back just because it feels easier. Because easier is not always better, and familiar is not always aligned. You are being called higher, to think differently, to act differently, to choose differently, to carry yourself with a new level of confidence and clarity. And yes, that may feel uncomfortable at first, because it is new, because it is unfamiliar, because it requires you to leave behind parts of yourself that you once knew. But, my child, that discomfort is a sign of growth. It is a sign that you are expanding. It is a sign that you are stepping into something greater. So do not resist it. Do not shrink back from it. Do not try to return to what feels safe, because what is safe is not always what is right for you anymore. You have outgrown certain ways of thinking, certain ways of living, certain ways of being, and that is not a loss. That is progress. That is evolution. That is alignment with who you are becoming. My chosen one, I see the version of you that is emerging. Stronger, more focused, more aware, more disciplined, more aligned with your purpose. And that version of you is capable of things you have not even imagined yet. But you must step into it. You must begin to act like the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. Make decisions from that place. Carry yourself from that place. Speak from that place. Choose from that place. Because your actions will shape your identity, and your identity will shape your life. So if you continue to act like your past self, you will remain in past patterns. But if you begin to act like your future self, you will step into a new reality. My child, this is your transition. This is your elevation. This is your moment to rise into who you are meant to be. Not later, not when everything is perfect, but now. in your current state, with what you have, because becoming is a process. And that process begins with a decision. The decision to no longer shrink, the decision to no longer settle, the decision to no longer return to what you have outgrown, but to step forward with confidence, with clarity, with trust in who you are becoming. If you feel this message in your spirit, if you know it is time to step into your next version and stop holding on to your old self, then declare it. Type, "I step into my higher self," in the comments. Let that be your decision today. Let that be your commitment. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer holding back. You are becoming. And, my child, if these words are guiding you, strengthening you, helping you grow, stay until the end of this journey. Do not leave halfway, because what you are receiving is not just words. It is direction for your life. If you feel the value in this message, take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this transformation. And if your heart feels called to support this ministry, so more lives can be touched, more people can receive clarity and strength, you can do so through the link given below. Stay with me, my child. Your transformation is just beginning. My child, be still. Do not rush past this part, because this is where many begin to lose faith, not because things are falling apart, but because things have become quiet. You have noticed it, haven't you? The silence, the absence of clear signs, the feeling that nothing is happening, even though you have been waiting, praying, growing. And in that silence, your mind begins to speak. Did I do something wrong? Why does it feel like nothing is changing? Has God forgotten me? My child, hear me clearly. Silence does not mean absence. Just because you cannot see movement does not mean I am not working. Just because you cannot hear answers does not mean I am not speaking. Just because things feel still does not mean things are stuck. In fact, some of the most important work I do in your life happens in silence, because silence is where alignment happens. Silence is where preparation deepens. Silence is where roots grow before anything becomes visible. You are used to movement, used to signs, used to feeling something happening. But this season is different. This is a season of quiet growth, a season where things are being built beneath the surface, a season where I am working in ways you cannot track, cannot measure, cannot fully understand yet. And because you cannot see it, you begin to doubt it. But, my child, do not let silence confuse you. Let it strengthen you. Because silence is not emptiness, it is depth, it is focus, it is preparation without distraction. Think of a seed. When it is planted, you do not see immediate results. You do not see growth right away. You only see the soil. Still, quiet, unchanging. But beneath that surface, everything is happening. Roots are forming. Structure is building. Life is developing. And when the time is right, it breaks through. But if you judge the process by what you saw on the surface, you would think nothing was happening. And that is where you are right now. You are in a season where your growth is not loud, not visible, not obvious, but it is real. And it is necessary, because what is being built in this silence will support what is coming next. My chosen one, if everything was loud all the time, you would become distracted. You would become dependent on constant signs. You would lose your ability to trust without seeing. So I allow silence to strengthen your faith, to deepen your trust, to teach you to stand even when you cannot feel immediate confirmation. Because true faith is not based on constant evidence. It is based on consistent trust. And that is what you are learning now, to trust me even when things are quiet, to trust the process even when it feels slow, to trust your path even when you cannot see where it is leading. And that trust is building something powerful within you, a stability that cannot be shaken, a confidence that does not depend on external signs, a peace that remains even in uncertainty. My child, do not rush this silence. Do not try to fill it with distractions. Do not mistake it for emptiness, because this silence is sacred. It is where your clarity is forming. It is where your strength is deepening. It is where your next level is being prepared, and soon you will see it. Soon things will begin to move again. But when they do, you will be different, stronger, clearer, more grounded, because of what was built in this quiet season. So do not lose faith now. Do not assume nothing is happening. Do not step back just because things feel still, because stillness is not stagnation. It is preparation. And I am still working, even now, even in this moment, even in ways you cannot yet understand. My chosen one, trust the silence. Trust what is unseen. Trust what is being built beneath the surface. Because when it is time, it will reveal itself, and you will realize nothing was ever still. Everything was aligning perfectly. If this message is speaking to your spirit, if you are ready to trust the silence and believe that I am still working in your life, then declare it. Type, I trust even in silence, in the comments. Let that be your faith. Let that be your peace. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer doubting the quiet. You are trusting it. Stay with me, my child. There is my child. Listen closely. Because this is where everything begins to change, not around you first, but within you. You have spent so much of your life choosing others, choosing their needs, choosing their comfort, choosing their expectations, choosing their approval, even when it meant ignoring your own truth. You gave your time, your energy, your attention, your patience, even when it was not returned in the same way, even when it drained you, even when it left you feeling empty, and you told yourself, this is love, this is loyalty, this is what I'm supposed to do. But my child, hear me clearly, losing yourself is not love. Abandoning your peace is not loyalty. Ignoring your needs is not strength. You were not created to pour into everyone else while leaving yourself empty. You were not created to constantly sacrifice your well-being just to maintain connections that do not honor you. You were not created to shrink just so others feel comfortable. And yet, that is what you have been doing. You have been placing yourself last, again and again, choosing others even when it costs you your peace, even when it costs you your clarity, even when it costs you your growth. And now, you feel it. The exhaustion, the frustration, the quiet realization that something is not right, that you cannot keep living this way. My chosen one, this is your moment to shift, not by becoming selfish, but by becoming aligned. Because choosing yourself is not about neglecting others. It is about no longer neglecting you. It is about recognizing that your needs matter too, that your peace matters too, that your growth matters too. And when you begin to honor that, everything changes. Your decisions change, your boundaries change, your relationships change. Because you are no longer operating from a place of depletion. You are operating from a place of strength. You begin to say no without guilt. You begin to step back without over-explaining. You begin to choose what aligns with you instead of what pleases everyone else. And yes, that may feel uncomfortable at first because you are not used to it. You are used to giving, used to adjusting, used to putting yourself second. So when you start choosing yourself, it feels unfamiliar. It feels wrong. But my child, it is not wrong. It is necessary. Because you cannot continue to grow if you are constantly draining yourself. You cannot step into your purpose if you are always available for what pulls you away from it. You cannot become who you are meant to be if you are always trying to be who others expect you to be. So this time, choose yourself, not out of ego, but out of awareness. Choose what brings you peace. Choose what supports your growth. Choose what aligns with your path, even if others do not understand it, even if it requires distance, even if it means letting go of certain connections, because not everyone will grow with you. Not everyone will understand your change. Not everyone will support your evolution, and that is okay. You are not here to stay the same for others. You are here to grow for yourself. And the right people will respect that, will honor that, will align with that. My chosen one, choosing yourself is choosing your future. It is choosing your peace. It is choosing your alignment. And when you do that, you will no longer feel empty. You will no longer feel drained. You will no longer feel like you are losing yourself, because you will be standing in your truth, fully, confidently, without apology. And from that place, you will attract better, healthier connections, clearer opportunities, stronger alignment, because you are no longer giving from lack. You are giving from wholeness. My child, this is your moment to stop abandoning yourself, to stop ignoring your needs, to stop choosing others at your own expense, and to start choosing you. Because you matter. Your peace matters. Your life matters. And the moment you begin to honor that, everything begins to shift. If this message is speaking deeply to your spirit, if you are ready to choose yourself and step into alignment, then declare it. Type, "I choose myself this time" in the comments. Let that be your decision. Let that be your turning point. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer putting yourself last. You are standing in your worth. Stay with me, my child. There is still more I am revealing to you. Still more ahead for you. My child, pay attention, because what I am about to reveal to you is something subtle but powerful. Something you have been overlooking, even though it affects you every single day. Your environment, not just where you live, but what you surround yourself with. The people, the conversations, the content you consume, the spaces you spend your time in, all of it is shaping you, quietly, consistently, without you even realizing it. And you have been wondering, why do I feel stuck sometimes? Why does my energy shift so quickly? Why do I lose focus, even when I want to grow? My child, hear me clearly. You cannot grow in an environment that constantly pulls you back. You cannot become clear in a space filled with confusion. You cannot stay focused in a space full of distraction. You cannot feel peace in a space that feeds your anxiety. And yet, you have been trying to grow while staying in the same environments, trying to evolve while surrounding yourself with what keeps you the same. And that is why it feels difficult. Because your environment is either supporting your growth or working against it. There is no neutral. Every conversation you entertain, every person you spend time with, every piece of content you consume is influencing your mindset, your emotions, your decisions, your direction. So if you constantly surround yourself with negativity, you will begin to feel heavy. If you surround yourself with distraction, you will lose focus. If you surround yourself with people who do not grow, you will begin to feel stagnant, not because you are incapable, but because your environment is not aligned with your growth. My chosen one, this is where you must become intentional. You cannot keep allowing everything and expect to become something different. You must choose. Choose what you allow into your space. Choose what you give your attention to. Choose who you spend your time with, because these choices will shape your future. You are becoming what you consistently surround yourself with. If you want clarity, surround yourself with what brings clarity. If you want peace, surround yourself with what protects your peace. If you want growth, surround yourself with what challenges you to grow. But that may require change, distance, new boundaries, new habits. And yes, that can feel uncomfortable, because it means stepping away from what is familiar, from what you are used to, from what once felt normal. But my child, normal is not always aligned. You have outgrown certain environments, even if you have not fully stepped away from them yet. You feel it. that discomfort, that sense that something is off, that awareness that you no longer belong in certain spaces. That is not confusion. That is clarity. That is your spirit recognizing what no longer aligns with you. So do not ignore it. Do not silence it. Do not force yourself to stay just because it is familiar. Because every moment you remain in a misaligned environment, you slow down your own growth. You delay your own progress. You limit your own potential. And you were not created to stay limited. You were created to expand, to grow, to evolve. And that requires the right environment. An environment that supports your focus. An environment that strengthens your mindset. An environment that aligns with who you are becoming. So begin to shift, slowly, intentionally. You do not have to change everything at once, but start somewhere. Change what you listen to. Change what you watch. Change how you spend your time. Create space for growth. Create space for clarity. Create space for peace. Because when your environment shifts, your mindset shifts. Your energy shifts. Your direction shifts. And everything begins to feel different. Lighter. Clearer. More aligned. My chosen one, you are not stuck. You are influenced. And once you change your environment, you change your trajectory. So choose wisely. Choose what supports you. Choose what strengthens you. Choose what aligns with your next level. Because your future is being shaped by what you allow today. If this message is speaking to your spirit, if you are ready to shift your environment and align it with your growth, then declare it. Type, I choose a better environment in the comments. Let that be your decision. Let that be your shift. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer surrounding yourself with what holds you back. You are creating a space that moves you forward. Stay with me, my child. There is still more ahead for you. My child, listen carefully, because this is the moment where many begin to doubt, even after doing everything right. You have been showing up, trying, growing, making changes even when it felt difficult, even when no one noticed, even when it felt like nothing was happening. You kept going, and yet there were moments you questioned it. Is this even working? Why don't I see results yet? Am I wasting my time? My child, hear me clearly. Nothing you have been doing is wasted. Every step you took, every decision you made, every time you chose growth over comfort, it all matters. Even if you cannot see the results yet, because consistency does not always show immediate rewards. It builds quietly, it accumulates, it strengthens you little by little, until one day, everything begins to shift. But here is where most people stop. Right before that shift, right before the results appear, right before the breakthrough happens, because they mistake the silence for lack of progress. They mistake the delay for failure. They mistake the unseen for nothing happening. And they quit. My chosen one, do not make that mistake. You are closer than you think. Your consistency is about to pay off. But you must keep going. You must continue, even when you don't see it yet. Because what you are building is not temporary. It is not fragile. It is not something that will disappear easily. It is something strong, something stable, something that will last. And that kind of result takes time. You have been planting seeds every day through your actions, through your decisions, through your discipline. And just because you have not seen the harvest yet does not mean it is not coming. It is. But seeds do not grow overnight. They grow beneath the surface first, invisible, unnoticed, until the moment they break through. And when they do, everything changes. That is where you are right now, at the edge of that breakthrough. At the point where everything you have been doing is about to show. But this is also the moment where doubt becomes louder, where impatience tries to take over, where you feel tempted to slow down or stop. My child, this is the test, not of your ability, but of your consistency. Will you keep going, even now? Will you stay committed, even without immediate results? Will you trust the process? even when it feels slow, because this is what separates those who reach their breakthrough from those who stop just before it. Consistency is not just about starting. It is about continuing, even when it's hard, even when it's quiet, even when it feels like nothing is happening, because something is happening. You just cannot see it yet. My chosen one, you are building momentum, and momentum creates change, not all at once, but suddenly after a period of consistency. That is why you must not stop now, because stopping now would interrupt everything you have been building. It would delay what is already close. It would reset what is already in motion. And I know you do not want that. You want results. You want clarity. You want to see everything come together. And you will. But you must stay consistent. Stay focused. Stay committed to what you have been doing, because it is working. Even if you cannot see it yet. Even if you cannot feel it yet. Even if it seems slow. It is working. My child, trust your effort. Trust your growth. Trust your process. Because everything you have been doing is leading somewhere. Somewhere better. Somewhere aligned. Somewhere worth the wait. And soon you will see it. Soon you will feel it. Soon everything will begin to make sense. But until then, keep going. Do not stop. Do not slow down. Do not doubt what you have been building, because your consistency is about to reward you. If you feel this message in your spirit, if you are ready to keep going and trust that your effort is not in vain, then declare it. Type, "My consistency will pay off" in the comments. Let that be your belief. Let that be your strength. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer questioning your progress. You are trusting it. Stay with me, my child. There is one more thing you must understand. My child, this is it. Not the end, but the beginning. The beginning of a new way of thinking, a new way of moving, a new way of living. Because everything you have heard, everything you have felt, everything that has been stirred within you through these moments was not by accident. It was alignment. It was preparation. It was me bringing you back to yourself. And now, you stand at a point of decision. Not a loud decision, not something the world will see immediately, but a quiet, powerful choice within you. Will you go back to who you used to be? Or will you step forward into who you are becoming? My chosen one, hear me clearly. This is your new beginning. Not someday, not when everything is perfect, not when you feel completely ready, but now. Right here, in this moment, because beginnings do not come with perfect conditions. They come with decisions. And the decision you make today will shape everything that comes next. You have learned. You have grown. You have become more aware. You have seen what no longer aligns. You have felt what needs to change. And now you cannot unsee it. You cannot go back to being unaware. You cannot return to the same patterns without feeling the discomfort, because you have outgrown them. And that is your confirmation that you are ready. Not because you feel perfect, but because you are aware. And awareness is the first step to transformation. My child, this new beginning is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming more of who you truly are. Stronger, clearer, more aligned, more intentional, more disciplined, more at peace. And that begins with your choices. The choices you make daily, the habits you build, the boundaries you set, the way you think, the way you respond, the way you move. Because your life is shaped by what you do consistently, not occasionally. So, if you want a different life, you must begin to live differently. Not all at once. Not in a way that overwhelms you, but step by step. Decision, choosing alignment over comfort, choosing growth over familiarity, choosing truth over illusion. Because every time you choose differently, you reinforce your new beginning. You strengthen your new path. you step further into who you are becoming. My chosen one, you are not starting from nothing. You are starting from experience, from growth, from lessons that have shaped you, from awareness that has awakened you, and that is powerful. Because this time, you are not moving blindly. You are moving consciously, with understanding, with clarity, with intention. And that will make all the difference. There will still be challenges, moments of doubt, moments where you feel tested, but you are not the same person anymore. You are stronger now, wiser now, more aware now. And that means you will handle things differently. You will respond differently. You will move forward instead of falling back. Because you have learned. And what you have learned will guide you. My child, this is your opportunity to break cycles, to create new patterns, to build a life that reflects who you are becoming, not who you used to be. And it begins now. Not with something big, not with something dramatic, but with a simple decision. I will no longer live the same way. I will no longer ignore what I know. I will no longer go back to what I have outgrown. That decision is your new beginning, and from that decision, everything will grow. Everything will shift. Everything will align. Because you are finally choosing yourself, choosing your growth, choosing your purpose. And I am with you in every step, guiding you, supporting you, strengthening you as you move forward. So do not be afraid. Do not hesitate. Do not look back, because what is ahead of you is greater than anything behind you. And this time, you are ready for it. If this message has reached your heart, if you are ready to step into this new beginning and truly live what you have learned, then declare it. Type, "This is my new beginning," in the comments. Let that be your commitment. Let that be your first step. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer waiting. You are moving. You are becoming. You are stepping into the life that was always meant for you. And my child, if these words have touched your spirit, if they have guided you, strengthened you, helped you see clearly, stay connected. Let this not be the end, but the start of your journey. Take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs this message. And if your heart feels called, support this ministry through the link below, so more souls can be reached, more lives can be changed, and more people can find clarity in their path. Stay blessed, stay aligned, and remember, I am always with you.